Tonight on the Northwestern News Report.
We know how to hit the ground running because we have the rapport, we have that experience with admin, with policy, with people, and just with ASG.
ASG election results are in, who the new student leaders are, and what campus will look like under their agenda.
Plus, during Sexual Assault Awareness Month, we look at how Northwestern organizations are providing resources for students and faculty.
And with Earth Day approaching, how a local initiative is bringing native plants back to the neighborhood.
We have pushed so many species to the edge, and this is on us.
Those stories and more tonight on the Northwestern News Report.
It's your news right now.
Good evening and welcome to the Northwestern News Report. I'm Megan Leibowitz.
And I'm Julia Richardson. We begin tonight with the increased number of COVID-19 cases on campus.
Last week, Northwestern reported 304 new COVID cases, bringing the positivity rate up to 5.91%. That's over 80% higher than the previous week's positivity rate. Last week, over 5,000 tests were recorded, but testing is no longer required for fully vaccinated students. NNN asked university spokesperson John Yates what the higher positivity rate means for testing and masking policies moving forward. In an email, he said, "At this time, we do not plan changes to our masking or testing requirements, but remain flexible to enact measures if necessary. While masking is not required in most spaces, the university continues to strongly recommend masking in areas where distancing is not possible." Free rapid tests are still available at the Jacobs Center Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. for asymptomatic testing and 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. for symptomatic testing. No appointments are needed for either test. Yesterday, a federal judge in Florida struck down the mask mandate for public transportation. Now the TSA is enforcing the mask mandate on public transit systems, the mask mandate on public transportation systems. Now later this afternoon, the Justice Department says it may appeal the court's ruling if the CDC decides it's necessary for people to wear masks on public transportation. Right now, the CDC still recommends masking on indoor public transit. This afternoon, Governor J.B. Pritzker revised Illinois' mask mandate to no longer require masks on public transportation.
Back here on campus, in an email to students today, Northwestern announced a new partnership with Timely MD, a free virtual mental health service for students. Through their Timely Care platform, students can schedule appointments with licensed counselors and health coaches and access mental health practitioners on demand at any time. This program will add to Northwestern's current mental health and wellness services. For more information and to set up an account, visit northwestern.edu/timelycare.
This month is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. NU organizations are hosting spaces for students and faculty impacted by sexual violence. NNN's Michaela Denault speaks with these organizations to learn how they are bringing awareness. And a content warning, this story discusses sexual assault.
The Center for Awareness, Response, and Education, or CARE, is hosting events for Sexual Assault Awareness Month. For Lynn Ahn, a survivor of sexual assault, the programming provides community and storytelling.
And I was just continuously denied over and over again.
CARE works with student groups within their office like SHAPE, Mars, and Speak for Change, a survivor-centered group that continues conversations and support for those impacted by sexual violence.
Speak was a way for an avenue to advocate not only for myself but for other survivors.
Students and faculty work together in these organizations to offer events like a resource fair, guest speakers, and the National Clothesline Project.
We see ourselves as really space holders in a container by which survivors feel empowered.
Their work transcends this month, and they try to promote a community that is safe and survivor-centered. According to a 2019 campus climate survey by the Office of Equity, more than 11% of student respondents reported at least one incident of non-consensual sexual contact since enrolling at Northwestern. Students say they hope the awareness created by these April events translates into action.
People just don't despite all the information being out there, know or understand or care. So I hope that they do.
Fostering safe and inclusive communities at Northwestern. Michaela Denault, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Michaela.
This year, Easter, Ramadan, and Passover fell on the same weekend, and NU students participated in celebrations on and off campus. For Ramadan, the Muslim Cultural Student Association has been hosting iftar and other community events throughout the month. Northwestern Hillel held Passover Seders last weekend and will be providing kosher for Passover meals throughout the week. And NU students celebrating Easter hopped into the weekend with students at services at Alice Miller Chapel, online and the beach. Alice Miller Chapel, Shield Catholic Center, University Christian Ministry, and Lutheran Campus Ministry led Sunday services. The Shield Catholic Center also hosted events throughout Holy Week.
Coming up, a look at Northwestern student group Building a Greener World.
And the students behind a new multicultural theater board join us in the studio after the break.
Worried about your friend, but don't know how to reach out?
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You can ask with an app if it works for you.
Hey, how are you?
You can chat with them in VR.
Thanks for
it's all
joining
good.
us.
If you think you should check in, yeah, you should.
Whatever gets you talking. Reach out to a friend about their mental health. Whatever gets you talking. Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
Okay.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving.
Do I sound okay?
So go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Successful union drives at Starbucks franchises and Amazon warehouses made headlines this month. Here on campus, some graduate student workers are hoping the momentum translates to their campaign for a graduate student union.
I think the more that it happens and the more people see that it is possible, that I think that helps to break down this, the idea that it can't happen here.
While grad student workers have formed unions at public universities for decades, private universities were allowed to unionize in 2017. Since then, grad student workers at Columbia, Harvard, Brown, and more have formed unions. Organizers at NU point to increased stipends at some of these schools as one example of a union-led gain.
Living wages for different kinds of households, not just, because again, graduate students are not just, single healthy people.
In a statement to NNN, a university spokesperson said, Northwestern University has always regarded its graduate students as students first and foremost, and has been steadfast in its commitment to support, mentor, and train them. The graduate school continues to engage with graduate students and advocate for their needs.
Thanks, Julia. Turning to another student group, Vibrant Colors Collective, or VC Squared, is a new student theater board devoted to sparking conversations through multicultural stories. Esteban Ortiz is the artistic director of VC Squared, and he joins us now in the studio. Esteban, thank you so much for being here. Tell us a bit about how VC Squared came to be.
Thank you so much for having us. Well, it all started when a couple of first-year theater majors were realizing that there wasn't enough multicultural stories being told on our campus. And due to the need for a priority for multicultural stories and identities to be represented in our current theater scene, they came together to create this multicultural theater board that focuses on community and providing a space for the POC students that are also interested in art making to come together.
Great. And what else makes VC Squared different from other student groups on campus? Tell me a bit more about that.
Yeah, I think the main thing that differentiates us from all the other student groups is that we are a student organization that focuses first on community. So while one of our priorities is definitely creating theater and producing theater in the common spaces that all the other boards create theater at, we also want to instill a sense of community through creating events and meetings that any students can come to find people that they connect with due to relationships and values and common identities. And that's something that you don't get anywhere else.
That's awesome. So how do students get involved or go see your work?
So the best way to get involved right now as we are starting up is to follow us at vc2.nu, short for Vibrant Colors Collective. And to click on our link tree, you'll see that we are currently petitioning or interviewing for producers for the next year and directors for our next year's shows. And then we'll be posting more information following about ways that you can get involved with our community.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And like Esteban said, you can find out more about VC Squared on their Instagram page at vc2.nu. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you.
Over the weekend, students voted for a new president and vice president of the Associated Student Government. Last Tuesday, we brought you the debate between the candidates, and now NNN's Andrew Rowan has the results.
Northwestern has a new ASG president, Weinberg Jr. Jason Hagelmeyer and CESB sophomore Donovan Cusick winning the presidential election. The slate raked in more than 70% of the vote. Their competitors, Weinberg Jr. David Groh and Weinberg sophomore Camila Wiesens, received 27% of the vote. The new leaders' platform has 4 points: responding to COVID-19,
making sure students aren't afraid to go to class without getting COVID, and making sure they have the protective PPE that they need is also probably important.
Facilitating Northwestern's presidential transition from Morty Shapiro to Rebecca Blank.
And we don't want that presidency as an excuse for ASG issues to be sidelined.
Representing and uplifting marginalized students.
ASG has a long history of sidelining and excluding Black and brown voices in ASG, and first and foremost, that's why we're uplifting marginalized voices as one of our core platforms.
And improving campus life.
We know the ins and outs of admin, and we hope to use this leverage to get actual issues done in ASG.
But the election didn't come without controversy. Each campaign received a lack of mutual respect strike from the election commissioners. The Groh-Wiesens campaign received a strike for pre-campaigning and defamation for a social media post towards the other ticket. Andrew Rowan, Northwestern News Network.
The new president and vice president will begin their role at the end of this school year.
Coming up, we saw snow this past week. Is better weather on the way? NNN's Julia Narvaez-Munguia is here with a quick update. Julia?
Get ready for some April showers and possible spring on campus. Find out if we finally get some warm weather right after the break.
Northwestern break right through that. With our colors flying, we will cheer you all to go. Go you Northwestern, fight for victory, sweet victory, spread for the fame of our fair name, and go Northwestern, win that game. Go Cats!
At Northwestern University, we are pioneering innovation and achieving excellence across every imaginable discipline. Northwestern University, the possibilities are endless.
Natural Habitat Evanston is offering free native plants to Fifth Ward residents. Ellie Skelly shows us how neighbors are putting down roots by lending a helping hand.
Last year, Natural Habitat founder and director Leslie Shad noticed a lack of tree coverage in her Evanston community. She decided something needed to be done.
I just have been concerned about our tree canopy.
Her initiative focuses on restoring native trees to Evanston's residential neighborhoods. She worries about Evanston's dwindling tree coverage and its effect on the habitats of native bugs, birds, and butterflies.
We have pushed so many species to the edge.
Shad started in the Fifth Ward, where she saw the most need and a lack of access to landscaping resources.
It is something that people can't necessarily afford and don't even devote a lot of thought to.
She received a grant to afford the plants. The installation is done mostly by herself, or, if needed, with a group of volunteers. She calls the program,
I think this program should be Neighbors Do.
Shad originally focused the initiative on planting trees.
Last year I was giving away oaks. And, I just found it really hard. A lot of people don't want big trees.
Now, she has expanded to provide other native species.
Service berries and dogwood.
Sarah Diggs is a Fifth Ward resident and a member of the Citizens of Greener Evanston board. She received rose bushes. Lifelong Fifth Ward resident Joanne Cromer hopes the initiative will help restore her family yard.
My mom used to keep this yard. They both passed away. I have been terrible. I have not done it. Well, if I had flowers all over, I would just love it.
Shad will continue to plant through late spring and early fall. She hopes to support the environment block by block, challenging habitat destruction and connecting with her community.
We have an obligation to step up and reverse this.
Ellie Skelly, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Ellie. To volunteer or apply, email Leslie Shad at habitat@naturalhabitatevanston.org.
Join downtown Evanston and community members this Friday from 9 to 11 a.m. as they clean up the Fountain Square in support of Earth Day. This event is just one of many happening across Evanston this month. Read more by scanning the QR code on your screen.
Student engineers are working toward a greener future through innovation. NNN's Gabrielle Coriati takes us inside the NU4 Design Center to see how one group is building a more sustainable future.
Designing, educating, building. That's the motto of Engineers for a Sustainable World, or ESW, a Northwestern student group creating sustainable solutions to world problems.
Being involved in sustainable or environmentally friendly projects should be an integral part of our society.
Members of ESW say their projects could have an impact when addressing climate change.
I think it's the most important problem in the world right now, so anything that I could do to help mitigate it.
Bill Yen is the co-president of ESW and the team lead for auto aquaponics.
Agriculture is the largest use of water worldwide, but this aquaponics system recycles all the water and nutrients necessary for plants to grow, and the automation allows it to operate independently.
The goal is to build a fully automated, remote monitored, and controlled indoor farming system in the sub-basement of Ford.
Growing up in Taiwan, Yen says he saw the impact of improperly managed agriculture. Now he's using his engineering skills to help find environmental solutions.
Learning more about large-scale agriculture that we have here in the U.S. and now being an engineer learning about automation, I feel like it was almost just natural for me.
Automation, the key to the aquaponics system.
With automation, it makes aquaponics possible because to have an aquaponics system by itself, you need to know a lot about water chemistry, a lot about microbiology, and that's something that most farmers don't have.
Their automation code open source, meaning anyone can work on it.
Anyone can come, download our code, look at our blueprints, look at our CAD model, and they can replicate this project in their own homes.
Sharing their technology while encouraging others to find sustainable solutions and take action to stop climate change.
I think that's an important way to kind of show that we care and that we're trying to do something about it as opposed to just sitting idly by.
Combating climate change through innovation. Gabrielle Coriati, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Gabrielle.
For more stories about how Northwestern, Evanston, and Chicago are celebrating Earth Month, be sure to watch NNN's special climate change show premiering on all of our social media platforms this Friday.
And from Northwestern organizations working to make campus greener to Chicago's climate change plan and a deep dive on the science of Lake Michigan, you're not going to want to miss this very special show.
Check it out on Friday on all of our social media platforms.
Now, climate change may be on some students' minds as they weather the cold. And this week we've had rain and even some snow from these past couple of days. But now NNN's Julia Narvaez-Munguia is here in the studio to talk us through what we can expect this week. Julia?
Well, today we are recovering from yesterday's snow, but fingers crossed that this is our last snow of the season, which is actually right on time. Unfortunately, this does not mean it's smooth sailing from here. The key to the weather this week is patience. While I have some disappointing news to give, I promise it will get better. Tomorrow brings cold weather with wind gusts of 20 miles per hour and a high of 51, plus rainy skies throughout the whole day. Do not bust out your shorts just yet because we are looking at rain showers with a high of 54 on Friday. I told y'all it will finally get better. While the work week is not so fun, this Saturday's weather is tempting me to pack my winter clothes away. We are looking at a high of 74 and partly cloudy skies on Saturday. While we will have rain in the morning on Sunday, we will have mild temperatures and partly cloudy skies on Sunday. I know I'm looking forward to finally experiencing the spring quarter everyone raves about. Anchors, what are your thoughts?
Julia, I'm really hoping that we can finally have some warm weather. I know my sister is coming this weekend, and so I've been telling her that it's going to get warmer, hopefully, and I hope that now I won't be lying to her and it will actually get warmer. What about you, Julia?
Yeah, I'm really hoping for warmer weather too. I mean, as you know, I'm from Southern California, so I am not good with cold, but yeah, I hope your sister gets some warmer weather as well.
Me too. I hope so as well.
So speaking of weather, yesterday, admitted students and families braved the unusually cold April weather for the first of 2 Wildcat Days, where potential new Wildcats tour campus, explore academics and community life. NNN's Talia Kalman caught up with a few potential members of the class of 2026.
It was one of my top choices before coming here, but now being here has kind of solidified it, so yeah.
Yesterday, a chance for students still on the fence to get a better sense of what being an NU student feels like. Campus tours, seminars, and more importantly for some, meeting other admitted students.
Interact with admitted students and current students and just get a feel for what it might be like to be a Wildcat.
We went into the fitness center and we were doing like a social thing. We played some games, Sharks and Minnows.
I didn't realize how connected people were and how willing to help. I really saw that through these days and how inviting everyone is.
Yeah, I would second that because I've been to a few other admitted student days, but this is the first one where I've actually met people and gotten to know their name.
Building connections and making decisions.
I'm here to make my final decision, and I really like Northwestern, so I'm going to commit today after seeing it. I really like it.
Talia Kalman, Northwestern News Network.
The next Wildcat Day will be April 25th.
And coming up, step inside the kitchen with a student company offering late night eats after the break.
Worried about your friend but don't know how to reach out?
You could say how are you or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat with them in VR. It's so good. If you think you should check in, yeah, you should.
Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health.
Whatever gets you talking.
Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too
Sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
And so it's kind of, I would say, do justice, because I know a lot of us have always been talking about how with COVID-19, we just missed a lot of things from high school and in college. And I think it's the university's way of saying that, we see you and we acknowledge that you've gone through this.
Wildcat Welcome Back, a team devoted to second-year planning, is currently organizing a week of programming for second-year students in May. Committees made up of students and administrators are currently meeting to plan a number of events, including prom. Second years were able to vote for 4 different prom themes on Canvas until April 17th, and over 600 students voted.
There's for upperclassmen getting ready for careers and things like that. They have a lot of programs for them, and then sophomores are kind of just dropped and they're kind of in limbo. So she was trying to find a way to bridge that gap.
Second year students can check the Wildcat Welcome Back Canvas page for updates with more details about the week's programming and prom.
Student-run late-night food option The Table is open again for spring quarter. You can order from The Table from 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. through its kitchen on Emerson Street, and NNN's Lily Wolfson visited the business on its reopening night.
After the dining halls and Evanston restaurants close, One Kitchen is still cooking and delivering.
We don't really have any, restaurant running experience, and we're just a bunch of kids. But I think it's pretty amazing that we're able to make this happen.
Head chef and CESP junior Josh Bloom oversees the entire operation. From taking orders, to making students' fried favorites, to cleaning up when the job is done.
It's really cool to get first-hand experience on learning how to run a business and manage a business.
The table's options include churros, milkshakes, and chicken sandwiches. Bloom wants the ordering process to be easy and fast through the Table's website.
Northwestern really lacks late-night food delivery, and this is the perfect solution to it.
With dozens of orders each night, Bloom believes NU community members are eager to support a student-run business rather than fast food chains.
They don't want to just spend their money on some multi-billion-dollar corporation.
Bloom says the staff is energized by the student response to the late-night service.
Just having students supporting students is something that's really cool and really important.
Bloom's goal is to continue serving his community, one order at a time. From the kitchen, Lily Wolfson, Northwestern News Network.
Thanks, Lily, for all making us super hungry here. And the kitchen table is hiring. Kitchen staff are paid $15 an hour and delivery staff $18 an hour. Now, I know that story made me really hungry.
Oh, me too. Me too. I haven't actually tried the table yet, and I'm a junior, which is embarrassing, but I think we should go. I want to go.
We absolutely should go.
We absolutely should go. And
maybe after the show.
Maybe after the show, exactly. But I think...
Well, that's all the time we have for tonight on the Northwestern News Report. I'm Megan Leibowitz.
And I'm Julia Richardson. Thanks for watching.